Good evening, crafting friends, and welcome to the 12 days of Halloween. And tonight we are going to be making a really chilling looking treat box. So I am looking forward to doing that. We are certainly getting close to Halloween, and we are certainly getting close to the end of our 12 days. I've so enjoyed coming live and sharing some fun Halloween projects with you. But this is, we're down to the wire. And today is let's see, we end on Monday. So we only have 3 days after today. So today's day 9, and then we've got 3 more days to go. So tonight we're using the Bag of Bones bundle. We are going to be using the dies, and we are going to be using some of the stamps, and I'm going to be showing you what we're going to be doing with all of that. I have to grab a marker, and I want that out so I don't forget about it. So we are going to be, as I said, making this cool little gift box. As you can see, we do not need a lot of cardstock for this. So we're basically using basic gray and gray granite. Let me just put this envelope away because I can reuse it. And again, I have my little cheat sheet here, but don't worry, I'm going to share this in the comments, so you don't need to take a screenshot or anything. So remember, as you join me live or on the replay or on my Facebook channel, please say hello. Tell me where you're watching from. Tell me what you think of the project. This is going to be a cute one. And please also like my page, follow my page, subscribe to my YouTube channel. They're great ways that you can help me with my small stamping business. So here's what you need. We just need, for designer series paper, as I said, we're using the Bag of Bones stamp set. And I cut this little guy out of the Them Bones designer series paper. So that's all I need from the designer series paper. You're going to need a scrap of white to cut a label, and we're going to be stamping. This is a treat box that would be really nice to give to a friend. So the sentiment is no bones about it. You're a sweet friend. So that is going to be on our label here. You need a scrap of black to cut out the fence, and this is part of the dies. So you'll need that. You're going to need a piece of gray granite to cut out the smaller tombstone. And you're going to need another piece of scraps of basic gray to cut out 2 of the larger tombstones. So we have that for you. And then really the only piece you need to measure out is a 5.5 by 2.5 sheet of basic gray cardstock. So let's do some scoring on this, because this is going to be the foundation of our treat box. This treat box is going to be easy to make with these tombstones, because the tombstones are perfectly flat at the bottom. So it allows us to put that box in there and not have something that's going to tip over. Okay, so let me add my piece of basic gray. We're going to start on the short side, which is the 2.5-inch side, and we are going to score that at 1 inch. There we go. Then we're going to put it on the long side, which is the 5.5-inch side, and we're going to score at 1/2 inch. Oops, let me stay straight on this. There we go, 1/2 inch. And then 1.5 inches, and then 3 inches, and 4 inches. And that's all we're going to need to make our little box. So let me just put this aside. I use my score pal so much, or my scoring tool, that I leave it standing right next to my desk. It stands right on the edge of it. Okay, so now we're going to do some cutting and folding on this. So to start, we are going to take and cut this little corner out. It is the only piece we're going to be cutting off of the scored piece. And I am going to cut up on this score line, so I'm going to make 3 cuts, one here, and one here. So let me just make those quickly. There we go. These are going to be 2 of the flaps. I'm going to just miter those edges, and it will help us put the box together a little bit. I don't need to do anything with this flap or this flap, but I'll do the same on this one here. And anytime you're making a box, you want, or any kind of fold, I highly recommend that you use a bone folder and burnish those edges. So I'm going to take my bone folder, and we're just going to fold on each side. This is a really simple box to put together, so it's not that complicated. It's going to have an open top, so you can just slip in a treat, like I didn't bring any out, so I apologize for that. I meant to pick something up to put in it, but I think I still have some of my dots that we can put in it. But this is just a little box that you could put a Snickers in it, you know, any of the fun size candy bars. It's just going to fold together like this, and then we're going to see how easy it just comes together perfectly. So the bigger piece is going to go on the inside, so we're going to have this piece go like this piece go like this, and then this piece go on the, we can do it right on the inside so that we hide those flaps. So let's just start putting some of these, we're going to put our adhesive right here. So I'm just going to use my Stampin' Seal. And so those pieces are going to go there on the inside, and then I'll need to put this down so I can put this on the inside as well. There we go. And then I am going to need this piece to have, I always have to try it out because I'm always afraid I'm going to put it on the wrong piece. So to start, this is going to just match up corner to corner, as well this match up corner to corner. Then, because I have my flaps in here, I want to cover that up. So I'm going to put that piece in, but at the same time, I'm going to fold this edge in. So it's all going to fit together at the same time. And then I'm just going to press that down. And looky there, we have a perfect little box. I don't have any candy here to put in it, but it will fit like even 2 little Snickers bars. So I'm just going to set that aside because we're going to start getting everything ready to put together. Like I said, this is a fast and easy project. This is going to be the fun. One of these is going to be the front of my tombstone. Actually, I'm going to do my stamping first. So I want to stamp Boo on this. And so these are our new Stampin' Rate markers. They have a great paintbrush end, the thicker end, and then a really nice bulleted point. It's not as fine as our others used to be, so you could get some really nice writing done with that end. But I am going to use this to just color in my Boo. I don't want to say Boo to you on the gravestone. I just want it to be Boo. So I've cleaned this really well and colored in my Boo, put it on the, and then I'm going to huff it just to re-moisten the ink, and then I'm just going to stamp that right here towards the top. And there we go. So we've got the nice Boo there. And what I'm going to do now is I am going to then attach it, just make sure it dries. I don't want to get any ink smeared or smudged. I'm going to put this, it fits. You can see hopefully that there is a bit of embossing done on this. So you can put this right inside that little framed area. There we go. So that's perfect. And now what I'm going to do is take my sponge dauber and I'm going to take some of my basic gray ink. It's the same color ink as the paper. And I'm just going to ink this up, and I'm just going to age this a little bit by burnishing the ends with the sponge dauber. And it's just going to give some aging to the tombstone. So I'm going to go all the way around and do that. Doesn't take much ink to be able to do this with your sponge dauber. You can also do it with a regular piece of sponge, just a regular stamping sponge. So there, that one is done. So now let's take our other one and do the same thing. This is the back of our tombstone, so we're not going to have the boo or the smaller gravestone on the front, on the back side. And there we go. And then while we're doing this, I'm just going to get the rest of the stamping done. So we've got our box made, we've got our tombstones ready, and we're going to now add our greeting. So I'm going to ink this up in the pumpkin pie, and I'm going to just stamp this on our label, which comes from the Stylish Shapes. There we go. No bones about it. All right. So we'll set that all aside. Now it's time to start putting it together. So what I'm going to be doing on this side here, I'm going to want to put this centered in between the tombstones. So it's going to go something like this, so you can see the inside of the box. So what I'm going to use is my tear and tape. And I am going to put my tear and tape right along the wider side of my box. And if I get a little too much, if I don't tear in the right place, I'll just cut that off. I am going to put 3 pieces across, and it's a good idea if you burnish it down. It just makes it so much easier to take the tape off. So I'm going to put another one right here in the middle. And I think I'll just cut this off so I don't have to worry about it. Is sticky. That is for sure. So I'm going to put the 3 pieces on so they are going to hold this in place really well. There's that side. And again, I'm just going to burnish it in place. Oh, I'm getting my tape everywhere. Let's just carefully take that off so it doesn't stick. And I'm losing my fingernails, so we're just going to take it off. It's been on all week, and these press-on nails only last about a week. So I'm burnishing those on really well. And now I'm going to put 3 more stripes of the tear and tape right on my box. This is probably, I'm trying to decide what I'm going to make for my students for Halloween, and this might be the treat box. I only make a treat for my advisory, and so that's the group I'm talking about. I only have 12 students in my advisory, so I can make it won't take me long to make 12 of these. Okay, so now I am going to take off. I always use my take a pick tool because I can pull these off pretty easily. Okay, so for this first one, I'm going to start with the back. And I want to line this up so it's pretty close to being right at as close to the bottom as I can. And I'm going to try to center it on my tombstone. And then I'm just going to take my bone folder and go in to press it down. There we go. Now we're ready to take these 3 off. Okay. And now we're going to do the same thing. I want to get this as centered as I can, right on the back, towards the bottom. It's almost centered. Doesn't have to be perfect, but there we go. And I'm going to do the same thing with my bone folder and just go in and press it down. And so now I have my little treat box. And so it's going to stand on its own and be ready to have some candy put in. Now let's do some decorating. So I'm going to put my skeleton, so it's kind of wrapped around, kind of coming out. And the other thing I want to do, I want his little hand to go over the greeting. So I'm just going to open up his hand there. So this is going to go, I want him to be centered right around the boo and having him come out like that. So I am going to put some adhesive right in the center and maybe a little on this hand. And I'm going to place him on the front of the treat box. There we go. So there he is on the treat box. And then I'm going to take my fence, and the fence is going to go right over the front of the tombstone. So I'm going to use liquid glue for this because I can just add just a little bit as I go along. So again, you don't want to squeeze too hard. Let gravity just bring this down. I'm just going in the middle. I'm okay if the top and the bottom are not covered. There we go. And so now I'm going to add this to just the front of the box. How cool is that? And I'm just going to bring his little arm over because I'm going to want to use that. So that's drying. And now I can do put this final piece and then add some bling to it. So I want this to just go right across my treat box a little bit at an angle and have his hand come down in front of it. So I'm going to use dimensionals, and I'm going to use, I left them out from my last live, which was just 2 hours ago. So I am going to put my dimensionals in the middle here because this is going to go over the edges. So I only want the dimensionals where they're going to fit onto the treat box. This is so cute. I love it. It doesn't take long to cut these images out because I can put through one thing of the, if I'm using my regular size Stampin' and Emboss machine, die cut and emboss machine, I can put both two of the gravestones, so the large and the small. I can put the skeleton, the fence and this label through one time. And so that makes it really easy to do. So let me just make sure my dimensionals are not going to show on the outside. There we go. I'm going to trim his hand a little bit from where I cut it so it doesn't have this straight edge to it. There we go. And I'm going to just take a little dot of glue and put under his hand so it will stay right on the label. Let me just hold that down for a second. Get it in place. And now the only thing we have left to do is to add a little bling. So, oh my goodness, is this adorable or what? I love it. Now, I had my bling out. Let me grab it. All right, so I am going to put, let's see, hold his hand down again. It's moving away from the skeleton because of the dimensionals. So I just have to make sure I hold it down for a second to get it to stay down. And then I am going to add some bling. I think I'm going to add the silver. I think the silver will look fabulous on the tombstones. So we've got one there at the top. We'll put one right here, and then we'll put the other one right here. Oh my goodness, how cute is this? Let me just get this one back on. There we go. Oh, and let me see if I can find my dots. They're right down here. So then you can take your candy and put it right in. So it does fit a package of dots perfectly. But this is our treat holder. Make sure I get it so you can see it. So cute. So that is tonight's 12 Days of Halloween project. If you need any help procuring the supplies, just let me know. I will be back tomorrow night to make a card, Sunday night to make another treat package, and we're going to end it with a bang on Monday night. I can't wait to show you what we're going to make, but it's going to be a home decor item that you can hang up for the rest of until Halloween. So thank you for joining me tonight for this cute treat box, and I will see you tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Have a nice evening, everyone. Bye-bye.